When you picture a construction site, you probably think of steel beams, fresh concrete, maybe some heavy machinery. But what if I told you that the single most critical part of any project isn't something you can touch at all? It's the project's nervous system, its documentation. We're going to dive in, because this isn't just about paperwork. It's about building a bulletproof record that can literally make or break your project. So, take a look at this number, 70%. Now, what if I told you that this one figure points to one of the biggest, most expensive problems in the entire construction industry, and it all boils down to a single, really common failure?
And there it is, a staggering 70% of all construction disputes. They all trace back to one thing: bad project documentation. Just let that sink in for a second. It's not faulty materials, it's not bad weather, it's the records we keep. This isn't some small issue, it's a massive, industry-wide weak spot.
And the cost when we get it wrong? Oh, it's absolutely astronomical. Quality control failures lead to $31.3 billion in rework costs every single year. And that's just in the US. That's all money just thrown away fixing mistakes that could have been caught or maybe even prevented entirely if there was just a better system of record.
So today, that's exactly what we're going to do. Break down how to build that bulletproof record. We'll start with the high cost of chaos, then get into quality and control, explore the modern digital job site, talk about what to do when things inevitably go wrong, and then we'll wrap it all up.
Right. So this chaos, it's not some abstract idea. It's the daily reality on way too many job sites. For decades, the industry's been running on paper logs, spreadsheets scattered everywhere, and a million different email chains. Information just gets lost, you can't read the handwriting, and by the time the data from the field actually gets to the office, well, it's often way too late to do anything about it.
So, to protect a project from all that chaos, we have to start with the fundamentals, the basic principles of quality and professional responsibility. These ideas are really the framework for everything else we're going to talk about.
And it really all starts with this legal concept called the standard of care. Now, the most important word in that whole definition is ordinarily. See, the standard doesn't demand perfection. Nobody expects that. It just requires that professionals provide the skill and care that is ordinarily provided by their peers in a similar situation. This is the benchmark. It's the baseline for just doing a competent job.
And within that standard, there are two key functions: quality assurance and quality control. The easiest way to think about it is like this. QA, or quality assurance, is the system you build to prevent mistakes from happening. It's proactive. QC, or quality control, is the inspection at the end to catch any mistakes that did happen. It's reactive, and you absolutely 100% need both.
So how do we put these principles into practice today, in the 21st century? Well, the answer is pretty clear. We move from paper to pixels. The digital job site isn't just some fad. It's a fundamental change in how we build things and how we manage quality.
Think about it. In the old days, once the concrete was poured or the drywall went up, whatever was behind it was basically gone forever. If you didn't have a photo, you had zero proof of how that rebar was placed or that the plumbing was installed correctly. And get this, research shows a crazy 40% of all rework comes from bad documentation of these hidden parts of the project.
This is where modern reporting software just completely changes the game. Digital forms make sure nothing gets missed. All that data is available in real time, so managers can see exactly what's happening right now. And of course, a time-stamped, centralized digital record gives you incredible legal protection. It turns communication from a messy game of telephone into a clear, organized flow of information.
And these tools are more accessible than ever before. There are some really powerful, really affordable software options out there for teams of any size. The barrier to entry for building a digital, bulletproof record has seriously never been lower.
Okay, but let's be real. Even with the absolute best systems in place, mistakes are going to happen. So what do you do when a product or a process just doesn't meet the requirements? Well, you turn to one of the most important documents in the entire quality management playbook.
It's called a non-conformance report, or an NCR, and I love this quote because it describes it perfectly. It's a detailed receipt for a mistake. It's not about playing the blame game. It's a formal, factual document that kicks off a structured process for solving the problem. It's the real starting point for turning a mistake into a lesson.
A good NCR process follows a really clear workflow. First, you spot the issue and you document it. Then, you contain it. Get that faulty batch of materials out of the way so nobody can use it by accident.
A manager then reviews it and decides what to do. Reject it, rework it. From there, the really important work begins. You dig for the root cause, you implement fixes to correct the problem and prevent it from happening again, and finally, you verify that the fix actually worked before you close out the report. But here is a massive, massive pitfall: the blame game. The second an NCR becomes a tool to get somebody in trouble, you can guarantee that people will just stop reporting issues. A statement like this one, it absolutely kills a healthy quality culture because it focuses on who instead of why.
The right approach, the much better approach, is to focus on the process, not the person. So instead of saying the operator failed, you document that the component was assembled using procedure 2.1 and that resulted in a deviation. See the difference? This shifts the whole investigation from who messed up to what in our procedure led to this failure. That's how you find a real systemic solution.
All right, so let's bring it all together now. All of these tools, all of these processes, they're really all about one thing: creating a complete, undeniable, and ultimately valuable record of the entire project from the very beginning to the very end.
And there is no tool more powerful for doing this than systematic photography. A picture is truly worth 1,000 words, especially when it's time-stamped and geotagged. It is the ultimate form of transparency. It's irrefutable proof of work, of quality, and of site conditions at any specific moment in time.
And the impact here, it's measurable, and it is profound. The data really does speak for itself. Companies that implement systematic photo documentation see their dispute resolution times just plummet. They cut their rework costs by an average of 25%, and they slash their admin costs. This isn't just about covering your bases. It's about driving real bottom-line efficiency. Ultimately, a bulletproof record isn't just a library of all your mistakes. It's a system for learning. The entire goal is to shift the culture, to move away from reactively catching errors and toward proactively preventing them from ever happening in the first place.
So that leaves us with one final question to think about. If your project's documentation was its voice, what story would it be telling right now? Is it a clear, confident story of quality and control? Or is it kind of chaotic, filled with gaps and a lot of unanswered questions?